Can a motorcycle helmet completely inspire the theme of a custom build? Keep watching to find out. So my first helmet was this HJC I-20 Scraw. And it's not trying to be subtle, traditional, or safe looking. It's built for riders who want their gear to have personality. The first thing that hits you when you look at this I-20 is the design language. The helmet has a straight up Street Fighter vibe, sharp lines, aggressive shape, and the look that feels more urban than classic open face. And then of course a dangerous thought hit me. What if the bike could match this helmet instead of the other way around? Now, once that idea took hold, I just started researching. After scrolling through Instagram and TikTok, my feed all of a sudden became filled with this anime painted style, initial D type of illustrative work that I would see in a lot of custom vehicles, mostly in the tuner scene. It had wild colors, thick outlines, zero concern for playing it safe. And then I kept seeing this one style that would stop me every single time. The way that the paint looked so alive, like the car itself was a character. I would sit there and start scrolling way longer than what I needed to, telling myself, okay, this is just research. All while at the same time, something else kept creeping into my head. See, as a kid growing up, I was completely obsessed with an anime movie called Akira. And in that movie, the main character would ride around in a really sick red motorcycle. And I remember always looking at that and thinking, one day in the future, I am so gonna make one of these and ride around it myself. I didn't want to recreate this idea, but I definitely wanted to translate the feeling that I got when I saw the bike every single time. And then there's the fact that I'm in Detroit City. And if you've been to Detroit, you know that there's a whole lot of grit out here. Cracked pavements, a bunch of graffiti walls. It's that creativity that comes from pressure. This build honestly wasn't necessarily a measure twice, cut once situation. This was more of like a trust the chaos and hope for the best. So based on all this influence, I already had the color in mind. The feeling was already there, but no clean blueprint, which is usually how my favorite ideas tend to start. And that is with a few sketches. I explored which panels I would go ahead and paint versus the ones that I would leave as is. I'd figure out the balancing between the different elements of graphics, and I am a sticker hoarder. I love collecting stickers. So of course I have a library of stickers to choose from to make this theme look a little bit more thrown together, rather than precise and pristine. In some of the sketches, I wanted to show a reflection of some of the things that I like, but I also wanted to have some sort of chaos and randomness to it to make people either laugh or chuckle. Finally, I landed on something that I thought was pretty cool and loose enough, but focused enough where I can go ahead and start on the build, as I was super excited. I pulled all the panels off, sanded them by hand, and prepped all the surfaces. Because this theme was for sure gonna be a hand-painted job. No shortcuts, just raw, instinctual creativity. And through the process, I started layering. Started by painting the base colors of each panel. I ended up picking two different paint colors that were in the same color sets. A more of an orangey reddish color with a dark ruby red type of a color. This way I can paint in almost like a preconceived notion of where the light source would be, so that the panels had enough flop to read the light source was always in the same spot. Once I had the panels painted up and the bases ready to go, then I got a set of paint markers. Now the ones that I got were the ones that I could get my hands on. The ones by far that are the best seem to be the Sharpie. I'll put a link in the description, as well as this really fat marker that I got, in case you want to give it a try. While going through the process of painting and drawing on these panels, the things that I would keep in mind would be the different areas by which the panels actually changed its surfacing. So I would start off by using the black marker to go and paint all of the details of the shapes of the forms of the panel, almost like creating an outline if I were to think of drawing this on paper. Carefully drawing on all the radiuses and edges of the part to really make that cartoon look pop. One little tip is to make sure that you don't worry about keeping the lines consistent. You definitely want to have some variety from the thicker lines on the outer edges and thinner lines in the center to give a little bit of details. Also, one of the things that keep this type of execution very successful is by adding these little like sketch lines. what I tend to do on these little sketch lines is I try to do them all within a similar direction that helps describe the surface to whoever's looking at this. Because if you think about it, when you're looking at a cartoon, it is not 3D. So you don't get that actual change of light hitting a surface that's rounded versus one that is hard and flat. So these little sketch lines will help to give that feeling of three-dimensionality. And I went with a matte paint job as a base because it makes it easier for the markers to go ahead and take. Now, one thing that I found that actually helped a lot of this cool illusion of this being a cartoon is that I would grab a white marker. I would go ahead and paint in all the different little highlights to help again with that flip-flopping effect that you get from darks to lights. Now, I have my own Cricut machine, so I actually tend to cut my own graphics usually for a lot of the themes that I end up doing on my motorcycles. So I thought this would be kind of cool to kind of do a little bit of like a mixed media to mix in some of the vinyl along with some of the hand-painted elements. I think this worked out very well to give it a little bit more interest and intrigue when looking at the panels themselves. Don't be scared to play around and just give it some extra random strokes here and there and make it look a little messy. I think it actually tends to help to get the effect to look way cooler and more energetic at the same time. Now this is actually one of my favorite parts of any build, starting to put the panels back on the bike. This is the moment where you either start to see that blurry vision sharpen up to something beautiful or something completely fucked. But at the same time, while I'm doing this, it's almost like I can see the artwork start to breathe as it starts to take shape. And at this point, I finally just step back and I let myself just look at it. Now, reflecting a little bit on this process, I think if I were to do this all over again, which let me know in the comments if you think I should maybe do a version of these once a year. And if that's the case, let me know what city you live in that I should go visit to get inspiration. And if I had to do this all over again, I would probably lean into the imperfections and I would probably plan a little less. You see, in trying to perfect a little bit of some of the line work that I did, I kind of overdid it. I went a little heavy-handed with it, which is not bad at all. Honestly, this build kind of reminds me of why I create. Not to impress everyone, but to make something feel alive. And honestly, I think I achieved it this time. One of the things that I thoroughly enjoyed about how this turned out, especially riding around in Detroit City, is how much it feels like it fits right into the environment. I truly feel like I did capture that Detroit City grit and wrapped it in this beautiful red package on 3 wheels. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions about the mods and the different things that I have on my motorcycle. I won't get into it in this video, but let me know which mods interest you the most that you've seen so far. And for the next one, I plan to do a full walk around my motorcycle, pointing out all the cool, unique little things that I decided to do, every mod, every detail, and every little decision, and talk about how it all comes together on the road. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode from MadMan Wrenchworks, where machines become canvases and chaos becomes art. Until the next one, ride safe, my friends. And remember, create, ride, and inspire.